Then there's the other story, and that's Caitlin Clark didn't make the Olympic team. Now, hasn't been official, but there's reporting out there. But she was told that she was not going to make the Olympic team going to Paris. Was she left off on purpose? Was it a snub? And I'm looking at the criteria here that now it's a committee. It's not a coach who makes the decision. It's a committee. Here is the criteria for the committee. They evaluate on with several factors: attitude, adaptability to the international game, likelihood of contributing to team success. There's nothing in there about popularity. They do have 9 players with Olympic experience. What we've seen is 6 of the 12 roster spots are from 2 teams, Phoenix and Las Vegas. It doesn't matter if Caitlin Clark is on that team or not. The United States is an overwhelming favorite to win the gold medal. They don't need Caitlin Clark. But everybody has an opinion on Caitlin Clark, no matter what the situation is. And if you're going to put her on the team, who are you taking off? And if you don't know who's on the team, then you really shouldn't be involved in this conversation. Let's just be fair. Be fair to the players who have been great. Granted, you may not know who they are. They're not stylistic like Caitlin Clark is. There's a lot of things that factor in at play. Everybody has an opinion, and we just need to go to our neutral corners here just to understand everything about this. Because she's not the first player that I would put on the team if there is an injury. Now, there's 2 players that have injuries, or Brittany Griner's played 1 game. Should she be on the Olympic roster? Chelsea Gray has a foot injury. I don't know if she's going to make the team. She got invited. I don't know if she's going to be able to play. Brittany Griner with 1 game, I think, that she's played. Should she be on the roster? Now, you might go, hey, we need to have some big people. It's a guard-heavy roster there. But there's Arike Ogunbowale should be on the team before Caitlin Clark. She's 27. She's averaging 27 a game. She's an all-star for the last 4 years. This might be her only, opportunity. Great player out of Notre Dame. Hit the shot that won a national title. But if you said Caitlin Clark deserves to be on there, deserves is I think that's open to interpretation. Deserve. Do I want eyeballs on the Olympics? If I'm NBC and having been the host of the Olympics, I would want her because there's going to be more people who care about that. I don't know if NBC even factored into this. I did ask about this because if I'm NBC, I'm creating a TV program here. I want you to watch. And that would give people. Now, here was another thing that came up. Christine Brennan from USA Today, great columnist. She said that what she heard from 2 different sources, that the popularity of Caitlin Clark might be a negative from the standpoint of Caitlin's not playing, then her fan base is going to be upset. Okay. Now, that's a report. That's not an opinion. That's a report. Do I think there's an old school against the new guard? Yes, I do feel that. Diana Taurasi is playing in her 6th Olympics. If I was replacing somebody, it might be her. But then they might say, look, she's still playing great. She's a spokesperson for the league. She's kind of WNBA emeritus. I get it. I understand it. But if you're going to say, I got to take somebody off, it might be her. I got to take a guard off if I'm going to put either one of these women on there, Caitlin Clark. And Caitlin Clark needs a rest. She does. And I think she would benefit from that. Here is Caitlin Clark talking about the snub.
Honestly, no disappointment. I think it just gives you something to work for. That's a dream. Hopefully one day I can be there. And I think it's just a little more motivation. You remember that. And, hopefully in 4 years, when 4 years comes back around, I can be there.
Yeah, 4 years. Imagine that fanfare in Los Angeles. But I think she's done a really good job in answering this, doing her best, saying the right thing. But is this about growing the game? Is it having blinders on and putting the best product on the floor? because you can make an argument, are they growing the game? Or could they grow the game more with Caitlin Clark playing in the Olympics? There are players who are better than her. I know it's a harsh reality for a lot of people who saw her play in college. There are at least 10, if not 15 players who are better than her right now. Maybe not in a year or 2 or 3 years when the next Olympics roll around. She even said what I said she needed to do, and that's get in the weight room and understand now how the game is played. She turns the ball over way too much. Yes, she just came off an unbelievable game where she had 7 3-pointers. I know the timing of this is what is awkward, because she just had her best game as a pro, and now you're saying that you're not going to make the Olympic team. I wouldn't rule out that maybe she makes the Olympic team if a couple of players bow out due to injuries here. That's something to, factor in. And then we're going to have the discussion of, did she deserve it? How are the players, the veterans, going to treat her? I mean, more people are talking about they're not really talking about the WNBA. They're just talking about Caitlin Clark. And if you watch the players who made the team, I have no problem with that. But there's certainly one other player that should be on there before Caitlin Clark, and that's Agumbawale. Because she's 27, this might be her only opportunity, and she's averaging 26 or 27 a game. Also, you have teammates. That's a big deal to the committee, that you have, like that familiarity as well. That factors in as well. The Fever are not a good team. And, let's say that they had a really good record. They might look at Caitlin Clark differently than they do. But she struggled, so is the team. Now, I say struggled because of what we saw in college. She's still putting up, rookie records. It's just, it hasn't been easy. It doesn't look easy like it did in college.